Hey guys, Magnus here, bringing you another video, and I know that I said in the Discord that I was going to be doing the one that you voted for, but I completely forgot. October is next month, and after this current update ends, and the Season 33 prize track thing, which I presume is just going to run alongside it, after both those things end, we're going to be getting the Halloween update, so I probably should have said this, but I need to do my Halloween video, my Halloween idea, so this one I've had in the works for a while. There was an issue though. A big half of this update was based around the Simpsons multiverse episode that we got in the last Treehouse of Horror episode in season 32. And obviously the big issue with that is they did an update based around that episode. They obviously did the Into the Simpsons verse update. And so that kind of ruined my plans a little bit for my Halloween update. So I kind of had to change it. It's still based around a similar theme, because originally it was based around basically just princess. So this episode idea, update idea, is essentially based around storybooks, like fairy tales. I thought it could be interesting to take this approach for a Treehouse of Horror update, because normally we get horror and vampires, and a big complaint I often have about Treehouse of Horror updates is they really feel like a bunch of shit just thrown together, and they don't feel very consistent. Whereas there are some really good Treehouse of Horrors in terms of themes. I think one of the best themed wise Treehouse of Horror updates is the magic update. I know a lot of the content isn't great, and I agree with that. The content isn't amazing, but the theme of that one is so solid. I actually really enjoyed that a lot, and so I kind of wanted to do something similar in that regard. So I'm doing essentially a fairy tale themed Treehouse of Horror. So that's the update we're doing. Let's get into it. So the startup, many town members are starting to complain that Halloween should be cancelled. They're sick of being egged, toilet papered, and they are sick of the tricks and buying the treats. Quimby decides to cancel Halloween this year, and all the kids are upset and mad. So you make Quimby cancel Halloween, make kids put away their costumes, ×3, and this will be the start of the event. So the event currency will be baskets for Act 1. For Act 2 will be poisonous apples. For Act 3 will be Rapunzel's locks. And for Act 4 will be fat hats. So, yeah, let's get into it. Like I said, it's mainly a storybook themed thing, but essentially fairy tales. So in Act 1, the store will drop, and you get Grandma's house with the big bad wolf for 150 donuts. So, yeah, you get this nice looking little house here, and you get the big bad wolf here in Grandma's clothing. Not a big character at all, but I thought it'd be a cool character to chuck in the store, so yeah, that's the first character. Moving on to the questline, so Bart is mad about there not being a Halloween and asks what they can do instead. Marge suggests reading a book, and Bart rolls his eyes in annoyance. He instead watches TV. And on TV, Krusty says that the Halloween special has been cancelled, so instead he's reaching into the public domain and reading the story of Snow White. Make Bart flick channels, make kids flick channels, ×5. Make Krusty read public domain stories, and make Springfielders earn baskets. And this will unlock the HD TV on the wall. So this is a sort of interior, but I feel like they could make it cool. Have these little pillars and this sort of little archway and the curtains, and then have the TV on the wall. Basically, it will be an interior. Interiors can be a bit annoying, but I figured they could make it work with this one. Bart is somewhat interested in the story of the big bad wolf. Did he eat the grandma? Where's the blood? Where's the guts? It's pretty scary. Lisa says, no, Bart, use the rewind button on the remote to go back to the Snow White part. Bart says, no, the big bad wolf part. So you make Lisa fight for the remote, make Bart fight for the remote, make Krusty dress up as the big bad wolf, make Springfielders earn baskets, and this will unlock the sarcastic turtle as an NPC. This is like a little turtle who climbs into a pot, a big boiling water pot in the Snow White segment. I figured he'd be kind of funny. Remember when you tap him, he makes his little laugh where he goes, I figured that could be just a cool little NPC, really. Nothing too amazing. After fighting for the remote, they end up watching Kent Brockman's boring report of a real Hansel and Gretel situation. Bart agrees to put the Snow White show up only if Lisa is willing to get Bart some candy. Marge has hidden it, seeing as Halloween is cancelled, and so Lisa agrees to get the candy. So make Lisa question Marge, make Bart rewind the show, make Lisa look for Halloween candy, make Kent report a story, and make Springfielders earn baskets, and this will unlock Susana the Witch's furnace. So you get this, again, it's an interior, I realise that, it's not amazing, but basically it'll be a big, awesome looking furnace. I mean, it does look really cool, to be fair, so it'd be nice to get it. Lisa brings Bart the candy and begins to munch it. He begins to munch it all up, and he puts on the Snow White show for Lisa. Lisa, though, is unimpressed. Why have the dwarfs played for laughs? This is bad representation for a less abled group of people. So you make Lisa complain throughout the show, make Bart eat candy, make Krusty wrap up his replacement show, and make Springfielders earn baskets. And this will unlock the diamond mine. This will be a building, be a big cave, basically. It says diamond mine with some diamonds outside of it, and you'll see the little door here with the trees and stuff on it. But this will be a building, so it will earn cash. So there's at least one building in the prize track. Lisa finishes the show, and Marge sees the end, telling her to rewind it. She wants to watch it too. Lisa says no. Bart says definitely no. But Marge says it could be a great bonding moment. Rewind it, Bart. So you make Bart hide the remote, make Lisa fake a cough, make Marge try to convince the kids to watch the show with her, and make Springfielders earn baskets. And this will unlock Snow White as a full playable character. Now, I know in the past I've complained that they really should have these characters be costumes, but at this rate, this is all they're going to be doing, so I figured why not just make this a character. And also for the quest line, it'd probably make things easier if Snow White was a separate character. So, do you know what? Fine. Snow White is going to be a separate character. I know it's another Lisa doppelganger, and that is annoying as hell, but whatever. Let's move forward. And there's going to be a Gil's deal. Boom! Gil comes along, and he's like, hey, you want 7 dwarfs? Give me 700 donuts. Alright, so this is potentially a bit unrealistic. Now, we've had characters be added as Gil's deals before. Good example is the university nerds, Benjamin, Doug, and Gary. They were added as like a combo Gil's deal where you could buy all 3 for however many donuts. Another one was J. Edgar Hoover when he was first added. You got J. Edgar Hoover with him and his costume for however many donuts. So although this one might be a little unrealistic because we're talking 7 characters added, I do think it's slightly possible. Like, although we haven't seen something like this being proposed before, I do think they could make it possible. So Gil will come along, 7 dwarfs for 700 donuts, and those 7 dwarfs are, of course, Kearney Dwarf, Doctor, Hibbert Dwarf, Krabby, Drunky, Hungry, Greedy, and Lenny Dwarf. So those will be the 7 dwarfs. You get 700 donuts for the whole thing, so it's 100 per dwarf. It is a big-ass price, and will be one of the, I think it would be the second biggest skills deal there is, but I figured, hey, if there's 7 dwarfs, it probably should be 700 donuts. So there you have it. It'll be a very expensive one, so I'm sure EA could, they could do it. They could definitely do it. And then in Act 2 store, when it drops, you'll get the Wicked Queen's Castle with the Wicked Queen's disguise as a costume for 175 donuts. Now, I know that this castle is somewhat similar to the castle that we recently got. I'm not sure if they took the castle from this episode, and that's the one we got for the obviously Wicked Witch Burns, was it? The Wicked Witch Burns castle does look a little bit similar to this, so it's possible that they couldn't add this, but I don't know, make it like look a bit different, maybe, and maybe it could be fine. I mean, it doesn't look exact. I'm just looking at a picture now of it. It doesn't look like. No, it looks quite different, to be fair. Nah, this one does look much more different. I feel like they could add this. Yeah, so add this on the big rock. Don't add this one in the mountains. Make it unique. Add it on the big rock. So you get the Wicked Queen's Castle with both the Wicked Queen as a full playable character and the Wicked Queen's disguise. Or you could call this the old woman or something, old woman disguise. But this will be a costume for the Wicked Witch. So you get both the Wicked Witch and a costume for her. I considered making this an animation, But I actually feel like it would be cooler if we got this as a costume, because they don't often do this. Again, like few characters I can think of that they've done this for is like the Barbarian, where we got the Barbarian as a new character, and we also got a costume. And then again, J. Edgar Hoover, we got him and also a costume for him at the same time. I feel like it could be kind of cool if we got the Wicked Queen and also a costume for her at the same time. Yeah, so that's my idea for $175. So it'll be a bit more expensive than your average premium, but yeah, you're getting an extra added feature, so why not? So Lisa and Bart manage to hide the remote well enough so Marge can't rewind the show. And she says fine. Instead, she'll read the book. She takes out the book and she begins to read the story of Snow White. Marge says Snow White was in a slumber until a prince came and kissed her to consciousness. But Snow White comes out of nowhere and corrects her, saying actually, she just remained like that for years. A prince never came. She didn't need no prince. Make Marge be corrected, make Snow White correct the record, make Lisa and Bart run upstairs and make Springfielders earn poisonous apples. With the whole like Bart running upstairs and all that, I kind of wanted that to be like almost like a horror thing, like they're hiding away from Marge. But anyway, you unlock a glass coffin, which will be this one here. So you get this little glass coffin here, which of course Snow White will have an animation for. Lisa confronts Snow White and how she exploited the 7 dwarfs by staying there in their home. That's the wrong there, sorry. And breaking indoors. But she defends herself, saying that she treated them all very well. The 7 dwarfs back her up and start ganging up on Lisa. You know, like she was a nice... Snow White is a nice friend of ours. So you make Lisa be ganged up on, make Snow White defend herself, make Marge just try to read the book, and make Springfielders earn poisonous apples. And you unlock the 7 dwarfs home, which is a nice looking little home here. So you get this home with the mailbox outside. Be very cool. Marge finds Lisa and Bart and tells them to come back to the living room. That should be living room. To read the Snow White book. Bart and Lisa are terrified at the prospect of being read this entire book, and Homer comes up with a solution. He can rewrite it. So you make Homer rewrite Snow White, make Bart and Lisa distract Marge, make Marge look for the Snow White book, make Snow White help Homer rewrite Snow White, and make Springfielders unlock poisonous apples, and this will unlock the walking pants. This will be an NPC. Now this is from the Fat in the Hat Doodah Fat in the Hat episode, or segment. But basically there's just these like random pants walking around, and the Fat in the Hat ends up like pantsing him. So when you tap the little walking pants, these pants will just be walking around in your town, and when you tap them, you'll basically pants him and you just see his underwear. So yeah, I don't know. I figured it'd be a kind of funny NPC to have walking around the town. Homer hands Marge the Snow White book and she reads it. It's now turned into a horror story where the Wicked Witch kills Snow White and the Huntsman and the dwarfs hunt her down in a creepy castle. Snow White says she much prefers this book now. She likes the fact that she avoids all the conflict with being the most beautiful. You know, she's no longer the most beautiful one in the land. She avoids all the conflict. She's killed off quickly. She likes that. It's too hard to live with a lot of the responsibility of being the most beautiful person in the kingdom. So you make Marge read the Snow White horror story, make Snow White enjoy reading her death scene, make Homer listen to his creation, make Bart and Lisa finally enjoy the book now, and make Springfielders earn poisonous apples, and this will unlock the Snow White casket. So you get this like little golden Snow White casket, which would be kind of nice to get. Marge doesn't enjoy the book whatsoever and asks who has scribbled all these changes in the book. She thinks it's Snow White and confronts her, asking why she is ashamed of her nice storybook and story. And she tells her she isn't. She's just glad that for a change the Huntsman takes the story. So you make Snow White enjoy life outside of the fairy tale, make Marge look for a new storybook, make Homer try to get his story published, and make Springfielders earn poisonous apples. And this will unlock the Huntsman, which will be another full playable character. Again, part of me kind of wishes they would be costumes, but I feel like they've already gone down this path now where these characters tend not to be. So when they have like, so this is like a rule. So obviously we've got like Beelzebub and Lucifer, those characters, but those were like Bart and Lisa. What happened like when they were transformed when they went to hell, the hell school, right? That's what they were transformed as. Whereas Snow White isn't like Lisa pretending to be like, Lisa being transformed into a world where she becomes Snow White. Snow White is just a separate character. So I feel like Snow White should be a separate character in that regard. I don't like it. Again, I would prefer it, but again, we kind of got to be consistent. So I think it's only fair. And same with the Huntsman, he will be his own full playable character. And then Act 3 will come along. So we're going to be getting Rapunzel with Rapunzel's Tower for 150 donuts. I forgot to put the little text on it, but yeah, it'll be Rapunzel's Tower with Rapunzel for 150 donuts. I had this in my last update as well, my last Halloween update, so it's weird that I've got this twice in a row. The only reason why is, like, obviously for that one I had the theme of hair, so I figured Rapunzel made sense as a character, but I don't know, I kind of would like to have Rapunzel in the game. Could be cool together. Yeah. So Marge is determined to find a nice storybook instead to help replace the Halloween spirit. She visits the library and asks the wise guy what books he recommends. He tells her that Hansel and Gretel is a good book. She should try that. Bart reads it and is in love with the book. Dead kids, cannibalism, it's got everything. Make Marge read on, make Bart be inspired to write his own book, make Springfielders earn Rapunzel's locks of hair, and this will unlock the Hansel and Gretel's siblings. So you just get these two dead skeletons, basically, and you can place them where you like. Yeah, why not? In the episode when Hansel and Gretel are in the woods, they see these two skeletons and they figure that they're probably their siblings. Or I think it was at Homer he finds them. Anyway, Marge instead decides to read Rapunzel. It's a much sweeter book and has a nice love story. Rapunzel, though, tells Marge that it wasn't so nice for her. The man who rescued her was an oaf, and he ripped out her hair while trying to get to her. And when he got to the tower, she was trapped with him for months and months and months. Marge is a bit overwhelmed with the story, and still Rapunzel is trapped in that tower. So you make Marge think of a way to get Rapunzel out. Make Bart keep reading Hansel and Gretel. Make Springfielders earn Rapunzel's locks of hair. And this will unlock the Witch's Treats, or Susana's Treats. You can call it whatever you want. Susana the Witch's Treats. Yeah, so you get these treats, basically. Just a big pile of cakes and stuff, which I actually think could be a cool little decoration. Marge thinks that she can get some inspiration of what to do to help Rapunzel from another storybook, so she instead takes a book about Goldilocks and the Three Bears. Marge begins to read the book and is horrified what the Three Bears did to Goldilocks. Make Marge put down the book in horror, make Bart pick up the book with curiosity, make Rapunzel be trapped in the tower if you own her, and make Springfielders earn Rapunzel's locks of hair. And this will unlock the Three Bears. Now, the Three Bears will be a full playable character, and you'll notice that I've also got another full playable character here. Now, this isn't, like, very common. They don't tend to do this. I think they've done this, like, once or twice. It's very rare. It's very rare. But in, like, recent Tapped Out history, they've not done this at all. They never do this. They never add two characters to a prize track. What they will sometimes do is add a costume and a character to a prize track, or they'll add two costumes to a prize track, but they'll never add two characters. Now, I don't think it's entirely unrealistic for them to do this. They could very well do this, like, easily. And I think a good solution is don't have a building be there. And as you can see, in my prize track, there is no building. So I figured this way, it makes it a bit more justified, right? We're not getting a building, so we may as well get two characters. So that's my justification for it. I know it still isn't, like, the most realistic thing, but I still think they could do it. So Marge tries to reason with the Three Bears and maybe try to come up with a solution to save Rapunzel. Bart has an idea. Maybe the Three Bears could rip her apart. That would be awesome to see. Marge tells Bart to be quiet and instead asks the bears to climb up and rescue Rapunzel. But the bears have one request first. They want porridge. So make Marge make porridge. Make Bart egg on the bears to be violent. Make Homer eat the bears' porridge. Make the Three Bears discover someone has eaten their porridge, and this will unlock the Three Bears porridge. So as you can see here, you get the little Three Bears porridges on this table with the 3 chairs. So yeah, cool little decoration. Not an amazing one. Marge is horrified to see that Homer has eaten their porridge, and the bears now refuse to help Rapunzel and instead want blood from Homer. Marge offers them beds instead, and they agree. In return for the beds, they'll rescue Rapunzel, but they still want blood. Bart, though, tells the bears it wasn't his dad, it was her, Goldilocks. Goldilocks is there saying, wait, no, it wasn't me, please. The bears tell Homer, all is forgiven. So you make the 3 bears chase Goldilocks, make Marge make beds, ×3, make Homer eat the rest of the porridge, and make Bart encourage the bears. Marge is like, so much for this horror-free Halloween. And then you make Springfielders earn Rapunzel's locks of hair. And this will unlock Goldilocks as a full playable character. Very cool. Like I said, a bit unrealistic that we'll have 2, but I couldn't not add one and not the other. It'd be weird just to have Goldilocks, not the 3 bears, so yeah. Anyway, Act 4 comes along. You get Birdie Burns with Birdie Burns' mansion. So Birdie Burns is a character, again that's just a name I've come up with, but Birdie Burns is a character within the Cat in the Hat parody. And you get him with the Birdie Burns mansion, which is basically Burns' mansion, but it looks like very unique. So, like, I would expect this to be its own building and not like a skin or anything, because it does look very different. Plus, we could have this cool gate as well. So, yeah. Homer is sick of this unscary Halloween, so he decides he's going to make a book that passes the anti-Halloween censors and that is still spooky and scary. Mr. Burns is interested. Maybe the hero can be a rich old bird that just wants to avoid pesky trick-or-treaters. Homer says, sure, whatever. Will it get funded? Whatever will get it funded, sorry. Make Burns brainstorm ideas, make Homer brainstorm ideas, make Lisa encourage her father, make Springfielders earn fat hats, and this will unlock the chump change. So you get this as a decoration. Basically, it's just a big pot of change, really. But it says chump change on it. Very cool. Very cool indeed. Mr. Burns argues the villain should be the one fat in the hat. And the hero, Birdie Burns, should kill him by the end. Homer is on board and asks, what sort of crimes does the fat in the hat do? Mr. Burns lists things. Well, he feeds the homeless. He takes kids on adventures. He encourages kids to trick or treat. Make Lisa explain good morals, make Homer write the fat in the hat is evil, make Mr. Burns adapt his story, make Springfielders earn fat hats, and this will unlock the shelter for the homeless who's. So you get this as a building. I think it looks cool enough, you know. This is like not a building in the show anyway. So, yeah, this could be really cool to get. Burns says that it might be a good idea for his character to hunt down and stop the fat in the hat. Maybe the fat in the hat is terrorizing the town and Birdie Burns puts a stop to him. Smithers suggests a noble sacrifice. Maybe Mr. Burns. Maybe. Mr. Burns tells him, no, that makes no sense. Why would he sacrifice his life? Why would someone do that? So make Smithers explain altruism. Make Mr. Burns learn about altruism. Make Homer write about the fat in the hat's crimes. Make Lisa help illustrate the book, and make Springfielders earn fat hats, and this will unlock the Department of Motor Vehicles. So I know that this is the Department of Motor Vehicles or whatever, but it's got like a unique name. I know it does look a bit similar, but I figured it'd be cool to get. Plus it could be kind of like wonky looking, that could be like really awesome. Mr. Burns agrees that the Fat in the Hat and Birdie Burns will have a chase scene, which will end in Birdie Burns fighting the Fat in the Hat and defeating him, that should be. But Birdie Burns will sustain too many injuries and he'll die in the process, in a noble sacrifice. So you make Burns finish his book, make Homer finish the book, make Lisa finish the illustrations, make Springfielders earn fat hats. And this will unlock the Krusty Coral, which will just be like a little field with like a fenced off. You know, it'll be like a fenced-off field with the Krusty Coral in it and the sign. It will be a decoration. It won't be an actual character, but I feel like we can't have every single appearance of every single character in this segment being a character. So I feel like I'd be cool with some of them just being decorations, including the Krusty Coral. Quimby reads the book and says, "This is far too violent and spooky to release during this time. It goes against the new anti-Halloween law." Burns' offers some chump change, and Quimby agrees to lift the anti-Halloween law instead. So you make Burns release his book, make Springfielders read the Fat in the Hat, ×5, make kids finally be able to trick or treat, ×5, and make Springfielders earn fat hats, and this will unlock the Fat in the Hat as a full playable character. Very awesome. So, yeah, that's my idea for this event. I think there's definitely some cool stuff in here for sure. I would really like to get the Big Bad Wolf. Snow White, I feel like could be kind of cool. They could do some interesting things with her. The Seven Dwarfs could be really cool as well, but they'd have to be added in the Guilds deal. I can't really think of any other way they could add them if we wanted to get all 7 of them. Wicked Queen would be kind of cool too, especially if they could add that costume. The Huntsman, I mean, I'll be honest, the Huntsman wouldn't be that amazing, but whatever. Rapunzel could be really cool though. Goldilocks and the Three Bears could be awesome as hell. Birdie Burns I actually think could be kind of decent, and the Fat in the Hat for sure is a must. So yeah, that's it. The epilogue or the end is Burns' book. It flops and the kids enjoy the Halloween once more, and they throw away their storybooks. So you make kids burn books times 3. So that'll be how the event ends. So let's get on to some tasks. So for the Big Bad Wolf, we've got look out for Red Riding Hood for 60 minutes. So this will be the Big Bad Wolf in Grandma's house, basically doing like he does in the episode where he like looks out the window with his tongue flapping out, and then he gets like disappointed and closes the window. Relax in the retirement home for 4 hours. That will be at the obviously the retirement castle. Scout out more grandparents to eat for 8 hours. That will also be at the retirement castle. That will be part of the Big Bad Wolf's questline. Try get grandma's nightwear on for 12 hours. So this will be the Big Bad Wolf outside the grandma's house, just desperately trying to get on the grandma clothes. So he'll be like, not naked, but well, I guess naked. He won't have any clothes on. You know, he won't have the grandma's clothes on, and he'll be trying to get like the nightie on and the hat and stuff on, and it just won't fit. And then be attacked by the woodsman for 24 hours. That will be inside the Big Bad Wolf's house. The grandma's house. For Snow White, we've got Sing with Animals for 60 minutes. So this will be a really cool animation, actually. She'll be there singing, singing and dancing along, maybe like scrubbing the road or whatever. And the animals will be around her. She'll be kind of like visually singing, and there'll be like loads of different animals like bears and deers and birds and stuff flying around her. So I feel like that one could be like a really awesome animation. Rewrite her story for 4 hours. That will be obviously in the Simpsons house, I guess. Clean the Seven Dwarfs house for 8 hours. That will be in the Seven Dwarfs house. Go into a deep sleep for 12 hours. That will be in the glass coffin. She'll be literally just asleep by the coffin. Pretty much. In the coffin. Asleep. Yeah. I know it's a bit of a boring animation, but I feel like it's kind of needed, And then avoid old ladies with apples for 24 hours. That will be in the Seven Dwarfs house, or the Brown house, or the Simpsons house. Doesn't really matter. For the Kearney Dwarf, or whatever he was called, I forget all the names. I have to just double check. Yeah, just Kearney Dwarf. For Kearney Dwarf, we've got give Lenny a wedgie. So he'll be giving, like he does in the episode, giving Lenny Dwarf a wedgie. Dream about beautiful princesses for 4 hours. That will be in the Seven Dwarfs house. Work in the diamond mine for 8 hours. That will be the diamond mine. Sing Oh Hi. So this will be an animation that will include every single. So this will be a bit unique. So say if you send Kearney Dwarf and Dr. Hibbert Dwarf on the task, then both of them will be in like a little line singing oh hi, it's off to work, oh hi. They'll be singing that like in a 2x2. But when you add like more characters, the 2x2 becomes a 3x3, 4x4, 5x5, 6x6, and until you get all 7 of them. So it won't be like a unique animation. It will be like kind of similar, like they all have the same animation. But the one sort of unique factor is you can have like 4 of them do it, you can have 1 of them do it, or you can have all 7 of them do it, or anything in between. So yeah. Bully the other dwarfs for 24 hours. That will be in the dwarf's house. For Dr. Hibbert Dwarf, we've got check his heartbeat for 60 minutes. So this will be him just checking his heartbeat with his little stethoscope. Look out for the evil queen for 4 hours. That will be in the dwarf's house. Work in the diamond mine for 8 hours. That will be the diamond mine. Sing Oh Hi. Again, same as this one. And then try to bring back unconscious princesses for 24 hours. That will be at the glass coffin, or it could be at the Seven Dwarfs house. Doesn't really matter too much. For Krabby, we've got be crabby at everything. So this will be him with his pickaxe and his little light, and he'll be like getting annoyed at everything around him. He'll walk, he'll see a squirrel or something, and he'll get annoyed at it, like mad and angry. Work in marketing for 4 hours. That will be the diamond mine. Work in the diamond mine for 8 hours. That will be the diamond mine. Sing Oh Hi, again same as this one, and then make out with the doorknob for 24 hours. That will be in the Seven Dwarfs house, because like in the episode he makes out with the doorknob. For Drunky, we've got Be a Drunky for 60 minutes. So this will be him walking around with his little pickaxe and drinking a Duff beer, basically. Work in the Brewery for free beer for 4 hours. That'll be at the Duff Brewery, if you own it. Work in the Diamond Mine for 8 hours. That will be in the Diamond Mine. Sing Oh Hi, again, same as their one. And then clean up his beer bottles for 24 hours. That'll be at the Seven Dwarfs house. For Hungry, we've got Fulfill Hunger for 60 minutes. This will be Hungry with his pickaxe, walking along, eating a donut. Hang out with Bigger Hungry for 4 hours. So this will be him and Homer hanging out in the Simpsons house. Work in the Diamond Mine for 8 hours. Again, that'll be in the Diamond Mine. And Sing Oh Hi, that will be the same as, obviously, they all sing the same song. And then get high on shrooms for 24 hours. That will be in the dwarf's house, which they literally do in the episode. They grab some mushrooms and they go get high. And then for Greedy, we've got Steal Diamonds for 60 minutes. So this will be him basically outside the diamond mine. Or actually, no, probably not. It'll just be him with a bunch of diamonds, basically, looking left to right and shoving them in a sack and then putting the sack over his shoulder and walking away. Sell mushrooms for 4 hours. That will be that could be anywhere, really. I guess Quickie Mart could be interesting for that one. Work in the Diamond Mine for 8 hours. That'll be the Diamond Mine. Sing Oh Hi for 12 hours. Again, that will be with all the rest of his people if you decide to do it, or just on his own, or with 1 or 2 of them. And then smuggle away his diamonds for 24 hours. That will be at the dwarf's house. And for Lenny Dwarf, we got Chase Away a Bear. So there'll be a bear there, maybe the same bear that we see in the episode. And Lenny will be with his axe, getting angry at it, and then the bear will roar at him, and then he'll run away. Scare away home invaders for 4 hours. That will be at the dwarf's house. Work in the diner in your town. On the screen, or it will show her walking around a separate part of your town. That could be a really interesting little animation actually for the HDTV on the wall. Take away dwarf rights for 4 hours. That will be in the castle. Try and make herself more beautiful for 8 hours. That will be in the castle. Rule over her subjects for 12 hours. So this will be a bit similar to the Godmother Burns character that we have. I know I'm kind of stealing this, but basically it'll be an animation of her on top of the castle, looking down. So she'll be on outside the door, and she'll be looking down, maybe with a little telescope or something, and she'll be maybe screaming down orders from the top of the castle. I feel like that could be a really cool animation. I like it when they involve the buildings. And then hire a new huntsman for 24 hours. That will be in the castle. And for her disguise, we've got force Snow White to eat an apple. So this will be an animation included with Snow White. So basically, the little old lady will force the apple into Snow White's mouth and then smack her on the back of the head so she takes a bite out of it, like the episode. I want them to basically reanimate that because that was kind of cool. Mix up apples for 4 hours. That will be in the castle. Make poisonous apples for 8 hours. That will be in the castle. Meet her doom for 12 hours. So this will be her getting attacked and killed by a bunch of animals like she does in the episode. They can make it kind of obviously in the episode it cuts away to shadows, but basically have her like standing there, all the animals are there, and then they all like pounce on top of her, and then she kind of disappears underneath all the animals, and then they leave her, all like, you know, bruised and bloody on the floor, and then she gets onto her feet, kind of like wipes herself off, and then it repeats. And then find a new disguise for 24 hours, that will be in the castle. For the Huntsman, we've got fail to kill a pig for 60 minutes. This will be him with like a spider pig clone. He'll try and kill the little spider pig clone, and he can't do it. He begins crying, and the pig runs off, and then the pig comes back and repeats. Look for a new profession for 4 hours. That could be anywhere, really. Pitch a spin-off film for 8 hours. This will be at Krusty Lou Studios, where he'll be like, hang on, they should do a spin-off film with the Huntsman. Haha, funny meme. Climb into his casket for 12 hours. So this will be him with the little golden casket that we saw for Snow White. Willie also had one too. So he'll be like, the Huntsman will be trying to like, he'll basically just climb into his casket and close it. So you won't actually get the decoration, but you'll get that decoration in an animation, which I would kind of prefer to only get one of those caskets, not both of them. And then be guilty about murderous thoughts for 24 hours. That could be the Brown House, I guess. For Rapunzel, we got let her hair down. Pretty simple, self-explanatory. Her letting her hair down like she does for 60 minutes. Sell hair online for 4 hours. That'll be in the tower. Get a haircut for 8 hours. That'll be at Jake's unisex hair palace. Try escape from the tower for 12 hours. So this will be her basically like abseiling down the tower using her hair. So she'll have like her hair tied to the, tied inside the tower, and she'll be like abseiling down. And then maybe she gets like bungee jumped back up. That could be kind of cool. Like maybe she slips, falls, she goes like right down, her feet hit like the floor, and then she gets bungee jumped like back up, and like falls into the window, and then it repeats. And then wait for a prince for 24 hours. That will be in the tower. For the three bears, we've got eat porridge for 60 minutes. That will be them sat at their table eating porridge. Set their beds for 4 hours. That will be in the bear's house, the three bears house, which already is in the game. It's kind of annoying that they added that already, but yeah, if you have that, then it might be an idea to actually add that building into the prize track potentially as well. But yeah, that will be in their house. But if you don't own their house, I guess it could be in the Brown House. Guard the house for 8 hours. Again, same thing. Three bears house or the Brown House. Scare children for 12 hours. So this will be again outside either the Three Bears house, or it could be outside the Brown House. But basically like a random little NPC child will come along and they'll like jump out and scare the child. And then atone for their sins for 24 hours. That will be at the church maybe. I don't know, I kind of threw that in there. For Goldilocks, we got try beds for 60 minutes. So this will be like a little bed will spawn outside of the Brown House or the Seven Dwarfs house. The three little beds will spawn outside of it, and she'll basically just be climbing into each bed, like trying it, and then like go into the next one, and then maybe falling asleep in the last one. Learn to cook her own porridge and make her own beds for 4 hours. That will be in the Simpsons house, I guess. Be arrested for 8 hours for like trespassing. That will be at the police station. Hunt for bears for 12 hours. This is going to be a bit unique, but she'll have a crossbow and she'll be like looking around for bears. Like pretty dark, but I feel like it could be kind of funny. And then break into the Simpsons house for 24 hours. That will be at the Simpsons house, of course. For the Birdie Burns, we've got die in a fire of glory. So this will be Birdie Burns all burnt and dying like he is in the episode when his house gets blown up. But basically this will be an animation inside his home. Actually I've just decided this. So basically his home will blow up. This building will blow up, and then Birdie Burns will be on, like, maybe he'll be on the roof or something when it blows up, and then like he's in front of it, all like black, like all black and boned and all that, like he's kind of been cooked essentially. Learn about altruism for 4 hours. That'll be in the Birdie Burns house. Scare away trick-or-treaters. Again, Birdie Burns house for 8 hours. Swim in the chump change for 12 hours. So this will be him in the chump change, if you own it. And he'll be inside the chump chains, kind of swimming around in it, getting all excited. And then be eaten by the homeless Who's for 24 hours. That'll be the homeless Who's shelter. And then for the Cat in the Hat, ride around robbing people for 60 minutes. This will be him riding around on his unicycle with the umbrella with a little gun on it. Feed the homeless Who's for 4 hours. That'll be the homeless Who's place. Kill bureaucrats for 8 hours. That'll be the Department of Motor Vehicles or whatever it's called. Try ride the Krusty Coral for 12 hours. That will be him on top of the Krusty Coral, essentially trying to ride him, but he doesn't get very far. And then finally, hide from an angry mob for 24 hours. That will be in the Simpsons house, I guess. So that is it for my Halloween event. I hope you have enjoyed it. Yeah, I kind of like the idea of doing like a storybook / fairy tale kind of adventure. I feel like this could be actually a solid event. Yeah, I just like to do themes for mine. I obviously did the zombie theme the one year, and then last year I kind of did like the War of the Worlds sort of theme. and like this kind of almost like time travel theme. I don't know what I'll do next year, but yeah, this is obviously just an idea. This is not what we're going to be getting by any means. We'll probably get something completely different. I might have been completely off, but there is definitely a lot of content here to make a fairly decent fairy tale themed Treehouse of Horror, I feel. So anyway, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed.